Hi everybody. So we are back with more stories from Tales of St. Marts by me, Nicole Bennett. I just want to say hi to everybody who's out in Houston, and our thoughts and our prayers are with you, and also with the folks in Sierra Leone. And we really need to pray and support them as well. And also all of my friends and family in the Caribbean. I know Hurricane Irma is bearing down, but you know what? God is in control. So just want to pick up your spirits today with a little story time. So we'll be reading again from Tales of St. Marts. And we're almost halfway through the book, so I hope that you've been enjoying the readings. So right now I'm going to be reading from a story called Post Office. The tourist, who said her name was Gina, went on and on about philately. He kept a pleasant blank face as she raved about the warblers of the Caribbean series. He didn't have the first clue about her beloved hobby, having just been transferred 2 days ago. Nobody wanted to deal with the avid stamp collectors. They were all a little weird. The postal workers laughed about it all the time. Imagine collecting stamps as a hobby. Talk about needing to get a life. Roll's anger dissipated into something more manageable, so he was able to give Gina the stamp she wanted, overcharging her by $10 out of habit. He smoothly pocketed the extra cash and put the rest of the money in the till. The hours, till closing at 4 p.m., loomed, giving him too much time to think about Lita. He turned down lunch with Agnes, who went down to the cafeteria looking peeved. Man, you take a girl out once and she makes a big deal out of it. It's not like she didn't know I had a girlfriend. Had being the operative word, he thought. He watched as the other cashiers continued to serve customers during the lunch hour, while he remained with his chin propped up in one hand. He didn't mind not working. In fact, that's why he hadn't fought the transfer. Such a grand term, transfer, when all he had done was to move across the room. The cool breeze coming through the window on his right was helpful, and the view wasn't too bad either. He forgot his woes for a moment as he watched the bank tellers coming back from lunch. St. Marts really has some pretty girls, he mused. His improved mood disappeared as he suddenly saw his ex-best friend Andre running up the street towards the post office. He must be mad to come and tackle Roll at work. Roll was on his feet and already out the front door when Andre arrived, sweating and breathing heavily. Andre's left cheek was swollen and discolored from their brief meeting earlier that morning. Andre started gesturing while Roll crossed his arms and glared at him. Man, Roll, why didn't you give me a chance to explain, man? You think you do right? You just come out swinging, don't even give me a chance to explain? I can't believe we're friends for so long and you turn on me like that, Andre complained. Roll thought about giving him a souvenir on his right cheek to match the left. He looked down on the shorter man with disdain. So, explain. He flexed the bruised knuckles on his right hand. The movement was not lost on Andre. Andre put a hand to his waist and rubbed the sweat off his brow as he seemed to think of what he could say. The early morning incident seemed like a bad dream in the heat of midday. Both men could not resist the memory. Roll unwillingly recalled his call to Lita, his suspicions roused by a rumor going around the post office. Agnes had broken it to him as kindly as she could, but nothing could dull the pain that lanced through him once he heard it. So he called Lita when he was supposed to have been on his way to work. She took long to answer, her voice heavy and deep with sleep. He told her he was on his way over to her house. Her voice grew sharp, and she asked him what was going on, but he hung up. Since he was already parked outside her house, all he had to do was wait. Almost immediately, Andre came out her front door looking disheveled and tense. Roll could not believe it. He did not remember getting out of his car, the blood pounding in his head. He vaguely recalled Lita screaming at him and Andre trying to run away. What words were spoken? Had he said anything? How had he driven to work through the red haze of rage? Andre was still struggling for words, which was quite a predicament for a lawyer. Roll, man, have I ever done anything like this before? I thought we were tight. How you just jump to conclusions without checking all the facts first? Roll's contempt was almost tangible. You can't even be a man and tell me the truth. I catch you red-handed and you're such a liar. You can't tell me the truth? The muscles in his neck popped as he took a step forward. Andre's mouth opened and closed, and he stared at the irate Roll for a few minutes. Out of the corner of his eye, Roll saw several curious faces looking at them through the post office windows. Everybody knew what this was about. So if you'd like to find out what happens next, you can order Tales of St.Marts off of Amazon.com and also Kindle.com. And I'm working on the audiobook. It's, taking some time, but we're going to get there. Thanks, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed the story.